Recording in progress.
Welcome everyone to the Zoom. As I said, happy and blessed Sunday night. I am your Executive Sales Director, Myra, and I'm based in Tampa. Just wanting to connect with you as we had agreed on a weekly basis. So that way we have a lot more of a tighter knit group. We had the good fortune of being able to actually meet in person for the most part. And we had some interaction at convention. I think that really took all of our thoughts and ideas about what we could do with this business to a whole nother level. And I'm extremely grateful for not only having had that experience, but also for knowing that for many of you, that could have actually been the very first time that you were at any of the company actual events, or that you were even able to meet some of the others and some of us here tonight. But as far as what we've had going on, I've been adding more content to the bands in Team Access. Again, we're a spinoff from Relentless, so there's going to be a lot of things that within both calendars. I just want to make sure I don't miss anything. And I would never want you losing out on value or content that's shared in Relentless. You don't have to remove yourself from either. Again, it's just so that we're actually growing up and building our very own organization with regards to that group. So thanks for joining in there. Thanks for checking on that. And also feel free to add content. Make sure that your agents are also plugged in there. I think the last time I looked, there were about 20 members. I know there's more agents within our organization, but again, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm very efficient and consistent with getting the information out. Now, for tonight, I'm really excited too, because I was able to reach out to Xavier. So at about 9:15, Xavier's hopping in and he's gonna go ahead and pour into us. Let me see, access. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, I don't have it in there. Oversight on my part. So, okay, awesome. Oversight on my part. My apologies. Thank you all for catching me. I saw that in the chat and in the text that was missing as far as the actual password. So my apologies for that. But what has happened, let's say since about Friday, is that we've been having these different Zoom meetings. Either I had an opportunity presentation that one of you requested, and then I did that in order to introduce the information. So I thank you for hopping on and having that support as far as what we got done. And then as well as yesterday, I know we spent that, it was a good about hour and a half or so prior to and leading up to the 9 p.m. presentation overview that I was able to provide last night. And that's really more of what I want you getting used to. Now, as far as stepping into this 5-week volume month, with today being day 1, I know that was one topic that we reviewed and discussed with different scenarios yesterday. And again, if you have any direct questions about it, or you need more clarification about it specifically, please reach out to me directly, send me a message and let me know, because if I can either go over it with you in a share screen setting, if we're not able to see each other immediately in person, I would be more than happy to do so. But the point is, the reason there's so much of a big deal made out of this particular 5-week is if you think about when our clients are being charged, or when any agent that gets started is being charged, that's 4 weeks from now. So anyone that starts this week, or any volume that's accumulated for this week, again, we reap the benefits within that same calendar 5-week volume month. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, because I think by now I have actually probably shared it, 3 or 4 times within the last 2 days. But again, if you need any specific direction or further guidance individually, please do not hesitate to direct message me. I'll be more than happy to go over that. Now, while we are connected, in the spirit of celebration, I do also want to go ahead and celebrate Claudia's very first promotion. She hit field trainer. So let's go ahead and light it up in the chat and celebrate that to her. I know that we had a conversation on Thursday last week, and this is something she actually saw about 2 years ago or so. So Claudia, if you don't mind to just share, maybe unmute your line and just share with everybody real quick, what kind of vision you have with regards to this opportunity. What is it that you're looking to get done? Because you saw this in about 2018, but just this year finally went ahead and made the decision. So don't be shy. If you were ever going to want to practice about sharing your story, this would be a great platform. There's only a few of us. So if you want to go ahead and unmute your line and just tell us a little bit about that.
Hi, everyone. Well, my vision is, well, I'm not a single mom. I guess my daughter's already in her 20s. So I guess, I don't know if you want to consider a single mom, but kind of nesting. She's like growing out there, trying to do her thing. And so I really am interested in trying to make sure that I help my mom, since we lost my dad about a year ago. We've been having a little bit of the struggles money-wise. So I thought maybe I'd try something like this because I know, like you said, I had talked to you about maybe 3 years ago with one of my best friends. She had taken me to one of the presentations, and it was always in the back of my mind, but I just was kind of like, oh, it's money here, money there. I was always thinking that those kind of things, so I just didn't do it. But because of the situation that my dad had passed away and trying to figure out a different way of doing income, is why I was like, well, you know what? Maybe this is the opportunity that I can start making this grow, and I can actually start doing it. And I decided to start, and so I just started talking to people. I'm a talker. The people that do know me, they notice that I talk a lot. I enjoy talking to different people. I'm always around different people. So, like at the hospital, I work at the hospital as an MA. So I'm always chatting with strangers in the elevator and stuff. So I know that I can possibly be out there and trying to talk to everybody. I just been kind of shy about it a little bit lately, and I don't know why. Maybe because I'm kind of nervous in doing this, because this is a whole new atmosphere. Like, I've always did medical field, so this is a whole different thing, but I am enjoying it. And I watch all the videos. I'm always on all the presentations and writing down my notes and trying to figure out how I can start this. I have a friend of mine who also started with me. Her name is Katrine, and then my daughter's also involved. So I'm just trying to see how I can get myself to the next step, and that's what we were working on every day between Mondays and Thursdays with my friend Katrine and now my daughter. So I'm looking forward to making this grow and making, not only making income, but helping people. And I enjoy helping people. I'm a people person. So I know that that's always been something I always wanted to do, was to help people. So I think this is a different aspect of helping people besides sick people. So that's my story for right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that share, because I've been able to meet you, of course, through that mutual friend that introduced us. And we have those certain things in common, but practicing like this and actually being able to just explain why you're finding that this could be a solution to some of the things you'd like to change in your life, that's the very first step in practicing to strengthen that skill set. So when it comes to sharing the story, I've always spoke about sincerity, and I've always spoke about being honest and transparent when it comes to this opportunity. I don't want anyone to feel that if they're not strong enough with being able to share it and do a presentation, understand you do not have to. That's where I want you to definitely know you can count on my support for that, but also leveraging the tools that we have, such as that new website for the agent opportunity. You guys all saw, I literally used that in the overview, the Zoom presentation that I did, the last two or three that I've done. So it works, but yeah, that takes bravery. They say the number one fear in the world is public speaking. So you just took that first step in doing something outside of your comfort zone. That's exactly what it's going to take for you to really see that great success and see the very next level of not only who you are, but who you deserve to create, and the lifestyle you deserve to create for yourself, for your mom, and for your daughter, who I know are all part of your why. And I want us to work on that a little bit more too, so that you can really expand on precisely what it is you want to do. So you have a game plan that can make sense as far as the efforts that you make. Now, having had experience in healthcare, I think that we're blessed with the ability to connect with that reward of helping and serving in others. And because things have to be pretty precise in healthcare, I can relate to your sense of responsibility with wanting to make sure that you do this with exactitude. But I never want anyone to be in a situation of paralysis due to overanalysis, right? A lot of times you might stay stuck thinking that you can't move forward because you're not exactly sure about or one step or the next step, and et cetera. Whereas in this platform, I can assure you, it's kind of like when it comes to flying a plane, right? You're on the runway, and as that plane takes off in the air, there are a lot of adjustments that have to happen during flight, right? So we're about to take off. This is the first of the 5-week volume month. We're hitting the ground running and we're about to take off. If you stop the plane to sit there and make all of the adjustments before it literally goes into cruise mode, there would be billions of dollars overall in the travel industry for air travel lost because of that loss of time. So don't lose time. If you get it wrong along the way, then I'll be more than happy to help and fix that. Like they say, we'll adjust you in the air. And the thing is about getting it out there, I was attending the training a little earlier today. Again, as another reminder, please check the Team Access band for the notice with regards to recruiting 30 people in the next 20 people in the next 30 days. Like they say, you have to shoot for the moon, because if you don't even land on the moon, you will definitely land amongst the stars. And if you don't aim high, then you're absolutely never going to get to the goals that you set. You see, one bad thing about success that I've learned is, believe it or not, success is bad when you stay comfortable with only achieving a little bit of success. So there's so much more yet for us to do. But again, a huge congratulations to you. I know with being able to partner with Katrina, a great friend of yours, as well as your daughter, is going to give you a lot more of that commitment and a lot more of fuel into the fire, because they believe in you and they got started wanting to be on board with the success you've spoken to them about creating. So in this process, it's like if you were entry level anatomy and physiology, so we're learning the basics, get to inviting. I've shared within our groups as well, the actual text message. So my personal goal is to direct message 250 people and have that list of my names over these next 3 days. And that's because I'm actually making sure that I allocate the time to help fill in the gaps for wherever you all need me. But in respect for everyone's time, I'm glad for those that have as well joined in and are attending this evening. And if you haven't already noticed, I'm super duper excited for this individual that I get to introduce to you all. I remember when I met him before any of the success that and what he's been able to create by way of this opportunity. But at the same time, the only things that have changed from my outside looking in addition to his bank account and the car that he drives, it has really been that he's put into play everything that we talked about before FES was even part of the equation. So what I really want you all to take away from any time you hear this gentleman speak is that when you have a plan and you really are serious about that goal, nothing can rob that future from you except for your lack of actual commitment, decision, and implementing what it means to get there. You see, I met this person, and I like to say it that way because we could hear someone about them being at the top level already, but sometimes we're clueless as to who they were before. And we also feel like it's so unattainable, it's so unachievable, it's so far out there, where I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, that all of us really do have what it takes on our own, for ourselves, within ourselves. But we can leverage a system like this, and we can follow the steps and copying individuals who have shown us the way on how it's possible. And now we get to even hear about somebody who's done it for themselves. So if you don't already know, just imagine this is our Senior Vice President, Mr. Xavier Marrero. As a Senior Vice President, he's created an entire organization generating over $1 million every 30 days in business revenue. And he started out with less access and less of the tools that we have available to us today, folks. When he actually shared this information for me, not once or twice or however many times it was, whatever, right? My bad. It was over a phone call. But a lot of it had to do with me having seen results as a client and also watching him and knowing this man was going to take it to the top, whether or not I said yes, whether or not I said no. And I want you also to kind of pick up a little on that energy and give yourself a little bit of that posture, because you can say the wrong thing to the right person. And your concern is not whether or not somebody joins, it's whether or not you do your part with introducing them to the information, even if it takes once or twice. But that's what we have systems in place for that. So I already see him smiling in the background. I know he's offering us a little bit of his time this evening. So can you all please give your focus and attention to, again, none other than my brother, my mentor, the person who personally introduced me to this, Mr. Xavier Marrero. I see you, boss man. Thank you for sharing your time with us tonight.
Myra, what's going on, girl?
Good, on lit, on fire, taking it off. An exciting start to this month for sure.
Definitely. Oh, man. Super excited, guys. I don't know if you could tell, smiling ear to ear, just because I already know what's about to happen. I already know what's coming. Guys, I don't know if you've seen, ladies and gentlemen, how many changes the company has made to only make our job so much easier, only to provide more value to the customer, only to go ahead and show that at the end of the day, we're really here not for ourselves, but more for that customer that we're trying to help, right? So, man, round of applause to every single one of you guys for getting on today. Honestly, if you guys can turn on your cameras, even better, right? So, Myra asked me to get on. If you guys don't know, like how Myra say, man, we've been friends before this opportunity even came to our lap, right? We was friends before, man, how many years has it been now? It's been so many years. Like,
I think like Facebook memory or something said like maybe about 6 at this point. Más o menos.
it's
It feels
crazy.
like even longer.
I'm talking about like our family has spent time with each other, right? And to see how much she has grown, just to see where we were at one point to where we're at today, man, God is good because everything that's happened is everything we spoke about, right? But the reason why I'm actually on today, other than Myra, my sister, someone that I love to the fullest, say, hey, I want you to speak to the team. I want you to let them know, what is commitment to you. And that's the reason why I'm on today, guys. I want to go ahead and just talk to you a little bit about what commitment is to me, because a lot of individuals see Xavier, the senior vice president. They see the $500,000 ring, right? They see the trophies, they see the recognition. But a lot of people, other than like Myra, who's on the webinar today, knowing Xavier, the brand new agent, knowing Xavier, the person that was going through a divorce, knowing Xavier, the person that became homeless with a 12-year-old son. And Myra knows all these are facts. This is nothing a fantasy story to make my success even sound more like I don't know the word I'm looking for, but these are actual facts, right? So if you're in a situation where you're going through something where you're like, man, Xavier, you can't relate because, right? I mean, life is good for you. I see the infinity bonus. I see the income disclaimers. I see the top income earners, right? But guys, it wasn't always like that. What it did is that my commitment level is what got me to become the senior vice president I am today. And of course, with the help of you guys as a team, I'm very grateful for. But guys, in the beginning, I didn't have the support the way you guys have the support today. I didn't have Myra, right? I didn't have a Myra above me to constantly guide me and show me the new things and let me know when updates happen and constantly remind me to plug in and constantly remind me how to run my business. I didn't have that. In the beginning, there was to a point where we wouldn't even show people our website because it was so outdated that you thought we was probably committed a scam. But again, back to my commitment level, I was so committed that I didn't care. What I did is I told myself at the end of the day, I've been to so many dark places, so many dark days that I can't go back to those. How many people can relate? If you ever been in a very dark place in your life, please type a number one. Just type a number one if you've been where you just feel like almost giving up, where you feel like no one can relate, where you feel like everything you're trying, it's just not working. And you're a good person. And at the end of the day that you mean well. And at the end of the day, you got a good heart. But it's just not working. And you're fighting, and it's like, God, why? I'm sitting here, I'm trying to help people. I'm sitting here, I'm praying for other people's success. I'm sitting here and I'm praying for other people to just be in better places. But God, why am I not there? But I'm here to tell you right now, God has his time. But I tell people all the time, you can pray for something better, but God can't fix laziness. You have to be committed. You have to be out. You have to go out there and have no shame in your game. You have to be willing to call every person in that contact. Guys, I'm telling you, man, in the beginning, I didn't care. In the beginning, I was in a place that was so messed up that I had no choice but to make this work. I had no choice but to make this work. And what did I do? I sat there and I called every single person. And I don't care if I remember you or if you didn't remember me. I didn't care what the case was. Because if I call John Smith and John Smith picks up and I'm like, hey, John Smith, how you doing? And he say, who is this? And I say, my name is Xavier. He's like, well, who are you? I'm like, well, is this John Smith? Yes. Well, I don't know. Some way, somehow I got your number. And he's like, well, what do you want? Well, I just want to let you know, if you know anybody with less than perfect credit, please send them my way. Because I didn't care. At the end of the day, the worst thing John Smith could say is, okay, bye, click. Right? Or he could curse me out. Right? He could just bang on me. But I didn't care because at the end of the day, I was committed. See, I was committed more to this company. And I think this is where people get it twisted, right? Some people enrolled into this company. They're like, oh, I'm committed to the company. See, you have to switch that around. What are you really committed to? See, I'm committed to my son. I'm committed to my mom and my dad. I'm committed to my brothers. I'm committed to my nieces, my nephews. That's what I'm committed to. That's what I'm committed to. It's not FES. It's not UE. It's not that. I'm committed to my peoples. I'm committed to my leaders. I'm committed to my team. It's way bigger than a company. You got to ask yourself right now, what is it that you're committed to? I want everyone to ask themselves right now, what is it that you're really committed to? Because it's not FES. FES is just the vehicle that's going to get you to that. See, my son, my goal is for my son to never know what a job is. I'm committed to make sure that my son can create opportunities for others, but he will never have to work. I'm committed to make sure that my parents can travel the world way before they have to even be on a wheelchair. I'm committed for my brothers to never have a job. So whatever investments they need from my end, it could be in a business, it could be in a Forex, it could be in whatever they might want. That's what I'm committed to. See, I'm committed to the team. I'm committed to the people that believed in me, especially the ones that believed in me before this even happened. I love those individuals. The Robs, the Myras, the Razors, the VGs, the Davids. Guys, when we first started this, a lot of us was hiding cars for them not to get repoed. Almost every single leader, you could talk to them, their car been repoed during this process. But now we pull up in a driveway and it's best to best. And I say that in a humble way. What I'm saying is our commitment level took us from hiding effed up cars to being able to leave AMGs on the driveway for motivation. Guys, it was commitment. See, these 5 weeks that are coming up, if you commit to not FES, but to yourself, to those individuals that you thought about when I asked you that questions, I guarantee you, and I put my life on this, your life will change forever. If you take these 5 weeks and forget Myra, forget Xavier, forget Relentless, forget everyone. Because that's what I did. I love Alfred. Alfred knows that. But Alfred can tell you, I wasn't chasing Alfred, hey, what do I do? Hey, Alfred, what do I need to do? No. Guys, I was committed. I was so committed that it changed my life forever. It changed my son's life. It has changed my parents' life. My parents don't know what it is to pay a mortgage anymore. Guys, that's a blessing because of the commitment. So ask yourself, are you really committed? Are you really committed to change your life? Are you really committed to change the life of people around you? I don't know about you guys, but when I get put away in my box, I told my son, everywhere he goes, he knows he represents me, but everywhere he goes, he's going to be well respected because of the work that I put in. He's going to be well respected because how much I gave back to the community, how much I gave back to the church. He's going to be well respected because how many lives I done impact in a positive way. So ask yourself, are you really that committed? Because see, people always want more. But to want more, you got to become more. Become more by being committed. And I tell people all the time, they say, hey, okay, X, that sounds good. But how can I be committed? Maybe I'm in a funk. Maybe I'm going through something. Maybe I wake up in the morning, I want to be committed, but some way, somehow I'm being distracted. Guys, I've been there. What you need to do is you need to read more. What you need to do is you probably need to stop listening to your favorite music. All that hip hop, all that negative music, you might want to stop listening to it for the next 5 weeks. Guys, and it's not easy. But do you think to get to this level, it was easy? Do you think to get to this level, I didn't have to change habits? I didn't have to create new habits? Guys, I hate to read. But they always say leaders are readers. I want to become a leader. So I got to become a reader. So I had to get out that comfort zone. And then I say, hold on, but my self-conscious mind is messing with me. So what do? I start researching. I start learning. Right? And I hate to read. I just told you that. But I have to get out of my comfort zone. And then when I'm reading this, it didn't get me it didn't take too far for me to realize something. It was that everything that I've been through was still stuck in behind my mind. Everything that I've been through was also reminding me that I was a loser, that I was no one, that at the end of the day, I wasn't going to impact no one's life. How? I failed. But then I realized, you know why? Because when I go to sleep, my subconscious mind never goes to sleep. And I say, well, how do we get the subconscious mind to think different? How do we get the subconscious mind to think the way I wanted to think? Then this is when I started going to YouTube and I started playing Blessed and Unstoppable. Blessed and Unstoppable. And what I did is because these are about 30, 40 minutes. Right before I was going to sleep and I started feeling tired, I hit the play button. And while they started speaking, I'll put this under my pillow. So now while I'm going to sleep, see, my subconscious mind is listening to something positive. It's listening to something that's uplifting. It's listening to something that's going to make me feel more powerful. Right? Because when you start listening to this in the morning or when you go to sleep, your mind starts thinking completely different. Guys, besides that, what I highly recommend, and I pray all you guys are believers, especially for this 5 weeks when you want to talk about commitment, is write a letter to God. My leaders know, I tell them that all the time. And I tell you, look, every single time. Every single time. That's the biggest commitment. You make that commitment alone. It's crazy what great and beautiful things happen. Amazing things happen. So now, when you're already committed to God, then you're also going to commit to yourself. Do you not think blessings are going to come? Do you not think the ones around you are going to reap the benefits? Don't you think that you become a river of blessings to others? Guys, this is what I do. Myra said, Xavier, talk to him about commitment. What is commitment to you? This is commitment to me. I'm committed to reading, right? I'm committed to learn how to take my time and make it more productive. Not busy, but more productive, right? I take the time to sit here and ask God for blessings, ask God for protection, ask God to bless others, ask God to show me what is the game plan. What is it that I'm supposed to do? Not only just in business, but in the spiritual world. How can I become a tool to you? Guys, this is how you reach higher powers. This is how you reach higher levels. It gets deep. But you got to be committed because he knows where your commitment level's at. He knows where your heart is at. He knows what you want to do at the end of the day when you reach the top. See, because money only magnifies who you are. You're an asshole, he's become a bigger asshole. But if you're a loving, caring person, you start donating a lot. You start giving back a lot. You start caring about other people's situation, that if financially you can help them, you become that person that becomes that rescue. But see, all that takes commitment. My family members, they know they're good because I was committed. Ask yourself, at the end of the day, do you want to be that person in your family that everyone remembers that, like, yo, when you ever needed something, that person was always there for you? And I'm not saying allow your family to take advantage of you, because my family knows that. But when my family's in need, I know that I can help. That I can become that person that say, you know what? Let's take this stress away because it's just a financial thing right now. The situation is a situation. Guys, do you know how many people we buried during my FES career? But the crazy thing is, one thing that I thank God, and I'm so grateful for that financially, I was able to cover it for the family. That stress didn't have to be there. They didn't have to be out there selling bean chos or lean best to go out there and take and come up with $10,000, $15,000. You guys know what I'm talking about. So imagine being in that position. Guys, it's a blessing. Commitment. Be fully committed. And some of you guys are just playing small. Stop playing small. Play big. Go play big. What's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst? You're in the same situation you're in now? That's the worst. Guys, I'm telling you, if you take this opportunity serious, if you stay fully committed, and when I say fully committed, guys, look, as an agent, I was already up doing presentations. Never, ever have I spoke in front of people before FES. Yes, I came from corporate America. Yes, I was in a sales environment. Yes, I can speak to a sales team. But it's different. But again, I was committed. My commitment level said, you know what? I don't care if I go up there if I mess up. See, a lot of people are just up there. A lot of people don't go up there because they're afraid to fail. You're afraid to fail. You're afraid because you can't host the way Myra hosts. You're afraid because you can't present the way Rob present. You're afraid because you can't present the way X present. Guys, we sucked in the beginning. Oh, we sucked. Yo, Rob can tell you. The first time I put Rob up there, I'm in the back of the room like, yo, I'm like, yo, I can't wait till this is over. Like, get this man off of the stage. No one is signing up tonight. People are going to laugh at us. Ask Rob. But Rob was up there smiling ear to ear. He didn't care. He didn't care. And after that, I'm like, bro, what did you do? He was like, X, what you, I think I did pretty good. I'm like, bro, you messed everything up. Everything you could do wrong, you did wrong. Ask him. But you know what? We didn't care. Guys, we used to go back to my townhouse. I had a townhouse. And guys, thank God, my first year in FES, we were blessed. I made over $157,000 my first year in FES, right? I was able to go ahead and take over my parents' bills because I was living with my parents, with my son in this little room, sleeping in one bed, sharing a bed with him from 12 turning 13. But God was good. So guess what happened? I took over my mom's bills and my mom and dad's bills, right? And then I moved out to this little townhouse, right, in West Chase. And in West Chase, anyone that came to that townhouse, I had one TV, right? We had like a 62-inch TV and one couch. That was it. No dining room table, no picture frames, no nothing. Nothing. We called it the lab. Why? Because I was fully committed. I was fully committed. We sat there, all we did is we worked. We sat there, all we did is practice our presentation. Rob, get in front of the room and go ahead and present. All right, perfect. All right, switch. X, go up there and present. Guys, how are you truly committed to this business? Because if you're waiting for Myra to do the presentation, that means you're waiting for Myra to sign your check. It might take her a while to get there. See, I wasn't waiting for someone to write or sign my check. I was creating my own check. I went out there and I started presenting and I didn't care. Man, I remember sometimes I'll get done presenting and people will come up to me and was like, Xavier, the word prolong is prolong. It's not pre-long. And I'm like, damn, I think I did say it pre-long. Guys, like Myra can tell you, people like, yo, X gets up on stage and he kills it. Look, I don't know if you guys were in my training for convention, but did you see all the typos that were up there in that training? Do you know how many people came up to me and said, hey, Xavier, I just want to let you know don't tell me I know.
And you still got paid.
Right. Don't tell me I know. But guys, see, I'm fully committed. I don't care if my grammar's not there. I don't care if I can't spell or if I can't read for the best. I don't care. There's no shame for me to ask my son, like, yo, how do you spell different? Because at the end of the day, my son come up to me like, yo, Pops, can I get this? And he can say yes, and I can say yes. Right? I didn't care. Fully committed. Right? But guys, that's what you got. Stop being scared. They don't know. A lot of people see that there was a typo, but what they care is the value that I brought and the energy. That's what they cared about. So to them, it was just more like a laugh. It was funny. But I could take that away and they still gonna listen to me. I could take and even spell words even more jacked up. And they still going to pay to be there. So ask yourself, how committed do you want to be? What does this really mean to you? What is the bigger picture? What is the long-term goal? And I'm telling you, don't ever tell yourself you're not good enough for nothing. Don't ever tell yourself, oh, I don't look good enough. Man, if you guys were in convention, the lady said, oh, they said they didn't want to hang out with me because I was fat. They said they didn't want to be around me because I was broke. And she got up and she said, look at me now. Look at me now. Everybody wants to be around her. Everybody wants to be her friend. It doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter what's in the outside. It's the inside. People know if you're genuine or not. People say, hey, X, how do you become so successful in this? Other than I grinded my ass off, other than I didn't go to sleep, other than I didn't care, I was fully committed. Guys, at the end of the day, I knew there was something bigger. At the end of the day, I knew that this right here will impact so many lives. That this right here will help me reach all my goals, to empower others, to sit there and provide a lifestyle for my son that I always dreamed of. For me to sit here and provide a lifestyle for my parents that they deserve. How many people have seen their parents sit here and struggle? I see my parents struggle my entire life. To the day I moved out when I was 18. I knew it was my responsibility for them to see what a better life is like. Y'all used to tell my parents that one day I will make $10,000 a month. They'll look at me and be like, Xavier, we pray for you and we hope it happens. But look, you gotta come back to reality. Like you up here, and we really like live down here. Like, be grateful. And I always been grateful. But I'm like, one day it's gonna happen. One day, I promise you, I'm gonna be so committed that this is gonna happen. Guys, I say this in a humble way. We make that in a week right now, and we're looking like, what did we do wrong? How many people want to be committed that now you can change your family's whole entire life? How many people want to be committed that you can say, yo, mommy, yo, papi, what next vacation do you want to go to? There's no limits. Don't think about the dollar amount. The car's going to go through. I promise you that. Unless you're going to spend over $100,000 on one swipe, the car's going to go through. But again, how many people want to be in that position? How many people want to say, you know what? I'm tired of being dead broke. I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. Or I'm tired of just having enough. Because I'm telling you, when you start thinking about other people, when you start thinking about what impact you can have in other lives, everything else just comes. But you got to be committed. And you got to be willing to just change your mindset. And you got to be willing to change the habits. You got to be willing to read. You got to be willing to sit here and listen to the things that you might not want to listen to, but you have to listen to. Guys, I love my rap music. Everybody knows I love my Meek Mills. But I promise you this, that's not the first thing I'm listening to in the morning. It's not the first thing. That Blessed and Unstoppable, anybody that knows me, which shouldn't be too many people now that I think about this. And when I wake up in the morning, they know that's the first thing that comes on. I wake up in the morning, before I hit that shower, the first thing that's coming on, Blessed and Unstoppable. I'm getting that mindset right. And before that, I told you, when my subconscious mind was telling me I was a loser and I was a nobody, I was putting that in the pillow and going to sleep with it. I challenge every single person for the next 21 days to go ahead and listen to Blessed and Unstoppable right while you're going to sleep, meaning that you're listening to this while you're sleeping. I challenge you, and come back to me and tell me if it didn't change your life. Not just in your business, but your personal, your relationships with God. I'm telling you, so powerful, so powerful. But look, guys, I can go on forever, because when we talk about passion, when we talk about commitment, man, that's all I do. And look how far it got us. And I'm no one special. Trust me, I'm no one special. The beer doesn't give me magical powers. People think that, but the beer does not give me magical powers. All it was, I was an average person who stood fully committed. I knew my vision from day one. I know how many lives I'm going to impact. I knew it was going to be something bigger than me. I prayed on it, prayed on it, prayed on it. I still pray on it. And I already knew at the end of the day what I was going to deliver to my family. There was no way that I was going to fail my family, because I felt that I had failed my son before. That's why when Will said his story, it hit me different because I know that feeling to feel like my own son, my own blood looks at me like I'm a failure. So trust me, at the end of the day, I don't care what you're going through right now. Tonight, you're going to make a commitment, a couple different commitments. The first one is you're going to commit for the next 21 days to listen to that Blessing Unstoppable while you're going to sleep. The other commitment is that for the next 5 weeks, you're going to work and you're going to grind harder than you ever did in your life because look at it like this, your life depends on it. Look at it like this, your legacy depends on it. Look at it like this, if you don't take action now, when will you take action? And I don't want to hear the excuses. You have Crystal Marrero, who's sitting here and is one of the most messed up situations I have heard. And she's in the top producer, not just for Team Relentless, but in Alfred's team and the entire company. I don't want to hear excuses. You know what I read the other day? And it was so powerful. Excuses is the first sign of a loser. Excuses are the first sign of a loser. And I'm looking at all you guys right now, and I don't see any losers right here. So the excuses, there is no excuses. I want everybody to write a goal down. What is going to be your next title? What's going to happen in the next 5 weeks? How much money are you going to make? Get with your leader. Tell your leader what that income is. Tell your leader what that title is. Because I guarantee you that leader is going to show you how to get that income. And I guarantee you, if you just do everything I just told you to do these next 5 weeks, your life will change forever. And it's beyond FES. It's beyond FES. The willpower that you're going to create is going to allow you to just do so many more amazing things in every single area of your life, period. The commitment level that's going to create that you're going to amaze yourself and say, damn, all I have to do is say that I'm going to do it. All I have to do is put a game plan and put a date to it, and I go get it done. So you know what? If I can make this happen in 21 days, I could definitely finish the rest of this 5 weeks. And once I finish this 5 weeks, guess what? I got to my next title. And just because I said I was going to do it, I made it happen. Guess what? Next thing is Pinnacle. You need to speak it. You need to want it. You need to taste it, breathe it. That's what I tell people all the time. Stay committed. But guys, look, man, thank you so much. Myra, you already know you like a sister to me. We family. Guys, look, I'm telling you, stay fully committed. Things are going to happen. And just understand this. When God has greatness coming your way, the devil knows this. The devil knows this. So the devil's going to mess with you in the next 5 weeks, but it doesn't matter because God is almighty and you're going to become victorious, period. So again, push through whatever you have going on right now. Push through whatever is going to happen because it's not going to be easy. But I guarantee you, once you do that, greatness is on the other side. All right. So guys, have a good night. Myra, thank you so much. I know I probably took up your whole hour, but man, I just, you know how I do. I let it go from the heart. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. No, Xavier, thank you. I expect to hear and see everyone saying their thank you in the chat. Understanding this man could literally be doing whatever he would want to do other than offering some of his genuine passion, those tips, that guidance. And I know, like he said, it does come from the heart. So Xavier, I love you. You always know that. I'm always thanking God, not only for having allowed us to connect, but for all that you do, the example that you set on so many ways. And one gift that you've given me is that before I even think about something or the potential of an excuse, or if I've tried to think about talking to you about this or coming to you with this, there's just been something about what you offer me as a friend that helps me strengthen up real quick. It's almost like I don't even want to come to you with something that I really know I could figure a workaround or get over or get through. So again, that's just something that I personally want to thank you for. And that sincerity, again, bringing that to the table, those reminders. Ladies and gentlemen, I actually have the 12 weeks in it, the 12-week year. I have that book. So I'm going to do some game planning so that we can actually follow each other on the reading of that. I have a digital copy that I know it's in the Team Relentless band, but I'm going to see if I get it over to Team Access as well. Or if you're in a position to invest and purchase, me personally, I like to actually have like a book in hand, and it's not a big book either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about a way for us to implement this reading. I think that would be something. And actually Alfred had raised this as well during one of the meetings too. And, you know, like Xavier is saying, we have so much guidance on what to do and what works that we really want to do it together, have the accountability of that as a team. And I know that I will be writing that letter as well, And, you know, like he said, though, too, the programming of the subconscious mind is powerful. You know, people will literally stop in their tracks and not move forward if they don't have the right mindset. So again, thank you, Xavier. I really can't thank you enough. One thing I wanted to do as well, I see everyone saying thank you in the chat too. So thanks so much, X. Yes, everyone. I know that we definitely appreciate it. And I want those direct messages. I see some in the chat. So I know Vito's goal is sales director, and it's true. He has been literally saying it every single day since he got back from convention. And Tony as well, sales director. That's awesome. Some of you have also told me directly what it is, but I do want to celebrate too. Kind of in the spirit of what we do with Relentless on the team-wide side. I was running reports for our organization, and with close of the month just yesterday, a huge shout out to the top client enroller within our Team Access, Pito, actually. So, or should I say Harold Strickland? So a huge shout out to you. Had 4 client enrollments, and I believe about 3 of them were since coming back from convention. So just in the last week alone, keep up the momentum. I think it's powerful. Christy Castañeda as well, who flew down from Yonkers, meeting all of us for the most part in person, the very first time, and taking that leap forward and attending convention. So she came in second, as well as Mach followed after her as well. Then Essence, who I see she couldn't make it to the Zoom tonight. I believe she works until 10, but this young lady has about a week as an agent in this business, and she was already able to lock in her very first client. We have Tamara as well. So a huge shout out to you. And Millie, boss lady, seriously committed and really stepping up into leadership herself, and Ida. So all of you, each one of you actually landed on the list for my top client enrollments for this past month that just closed yesterday. And when it comes to recruiters, our top recruiters, we have 2 agents that are tied, 2 individuals that are tied, and you are connected tonight with growing the family by 2 enrollments of agents yourselves in this entire last month. That is, well, ladies first, just by custom. So shout out to Millie, Melissa Peters. You're definitely going to take this straight to the top. You know, I salute you, I commend you. And every once in a while you pop up and be like, oh, I forgot to share the screenshot. So she's definitely killing it. And I look forward to being able to see you continue to grow, as well as Tony Martinez with 2 additional agents as well, growing the family, growing our access, and growing the reach and impact we can have. Followed as well by Claudia. A huge shout out to you, of course. I mean, I'm a mom as well, so being able to partner with your daughter and have her on board with you on this is amazing. I look forward to being able to celebrate her promotions. Next, Ida, she's always been my silent killer, right? So Ida's back on board, she's plugged in, and she's also one that team overall take this and make note of it. Ida does not like the attention, so she's on the list for top recruiters, but she didn't even share the screenshot. So again, whenever you see her, whenever you can go ahead and blow the whistle, you know, shout her out. Please, definitely, I encourage you to do so. And then, of course, last but not least, Pito, topping on the charts for recruiters. So that just means that now you have individuals who also believed your vision with this. Now you have others that have also said, I want to be a part of this. So like I've said to many of you, either I introduced you to this myself, or we met by way of this journey for someone else who introduced you to this. And like I've told each and every single one of you from our very first conversation, right after I knew you had made that decision and committed and actually registered, I will never give up on you. I will never quit. I will absolutely be here to do everything I've always promised that I would do to the best of my ability. Am I perfect? Absolutely not. In fact, I'll be the first to admit I'm probably very flawed in so many ways. But where my heart is and where my vision is for this, and what I've been able to see that not only this opportunity, but what this industry has made available for people who seriously want a life-changing experience and that are ready to really achieve that much more. I am here because of my commitment to that, because of my why, and I'm here because of my commitment to you. And there are times where we need to borrow not only success stories, where we need to borrow not only testimonies while we experience the results of this program, but a lot of times we also need to borrow that belief. And if you think about ever being doubtful or hesitating or just wondering if you've got what it takes, never ever give up on the fact that I know I believe in you. I know our leaders such as Xavier believe in you. And who knows how many people in your immediate circle are simply waiting to watch because their own fear and self-limiting beliefs don't allow them to join you, but they're rooting because they want your success to actually translate into their lives as hope, as to what could be possible for them, and as to how they're able to potentially qualify for themselves. So we're just approaching now at 10 p.m. There's 1 more minute left. And if you've been on some of the Zooms, I think for the last few hours as well, we've had some Zooms yesterday too. I'll be able to share this recording as well, so we can share it amongst the team. If you're not already doing so, send me a follow or subscribe to my YouTube channel, because all of the video recordings that I actually create and store, I share them there. You can always access previous recordings, previous trainings. I'm moving forward each and every Sunday. I will be borrowing your time, but we'll be sharing it together to touch base, to continue to grow and expand. Now, send me direct messages, please, for your title goal and for your income goal. And I will be keeping everyone posted in the text or in the access group, in the band, the team access group. The other thing I would like to do as well is throughout the week, in addition to where we have our previously scheduled core rank training, as well as the path to financial freedom, the millionaire mindset, all of those training sessions, the lead generation that's on the calendar, what I'll be doing as well is setting aside other presentations, right, and other training sessions. But the first step is, because I'm also setting up calls and follow-ups and doing the business myself, communicate to me if there's a time where you have individuals you'd like for me to help you with exposing, no problem. Like Xavier said, I don't want to be the one that's signing your check, but I will commit to being able to help you along the way. And when it comes to this opportunity, I'm telling you, go so fast that the people who either say no, or they haven't decided, or they have to think about it, you're too busy moving forward to the very next person who actually is ready, that you forget about that person. And again, that's just a little tip. So fortune is in the follow-up. Keep a list, because if you don't have somewhere to keep track of where to go next, you may end up lost in the sauce, like they say. But I did share in the notices within our bands the actual recruitment of 20 people in the next 30 days. That was something that we watched and went over today earlier. So make sure you're plugging in, make sure you get to that. And fast is fun. Slow is a lot more painful, but fast is a whole lot more fun. So again, on that note, let me look at the chats real quick, see if there's any question. I know, Tony, you said to share my YouTube channel. Just look up my name. Just search my name by Mayra. I will share it in the band group. Because I know I can generate an invite link, but if you look it up, it'll be under my first name. So my first name and last name, just the way that it's spelled, just like on my Facebook. I keep everything with my real actual government. So on that note, please reach out to me directly for any questions you might have and however else I can support you. But feel free to add content as well, or things or questions in access in the band, so that I can also respond to it, and we can keep a way of searching for solutions and information and making that an interactive tool that we all benefit from. So thank you all. Like I said, God bless, have a great night. And I look forward to being able to get on the very next call or Zoom with each one of you moving forward, and also being able to celebrate your title promotions and all of the blessings we're going to have throughout this entire month. So again, on that note, thank you all. I appreciate you. I love you. And let's take this thing to the top. Let's get it, like they say.
Thank you, Myra.
Thank you,
Thank you
May.
so much.
You're welcome.